I remember which birds I've already launched.
We don't know what's going to happen here. That'll be all right. That'll be a surprise for us. That's good for him. I think I do see some birds over that hill, though.
Mallet! Good shooting, guys. Count. Here it comes, the middle. Shoot him. Perfect. Station's been pretty good. We've had some dogs that are definitely ready to go hunt. And we have some young ones that, which what we expected, it was very new to them, the decoys and all the commotion and all that. So we've had just really all around, wide array of dog training ranges here, but a lot of dogs have learned new things. They've experienced new things. Some dogs have done extremely well. Even the ones that struggled, we've been able to work through it. So it's going great.
All right, where we're standing right now is where the headquarters of our Fall Member Weekend for 2021 was held. This is where, when everybody first rolled up, this is where we all connected. This is where we all got together. And for our Member Weekend, let me just tell you a little bit about, really what it's all about. We've got members that use our online course to help them train their dog from all over the country, come and gather and connect with other members, as well as really just gain valuable experience that it's really hard to get anywhere else, because you're here, it's hands-on, and it's really just an incredible experience. And that's what we're gonna share with you here in this episode. But just to start out with, when we first got here, the main thing we wanted to do before we got into training or anything was the first evening is just connect. Let everybody meet each other, let all the dogs meet each other, so that we can all see. Some of the members have already met members from past member weekends, and sometimes this is a member's very first time to come here. But it's an incredible experience to see how people from all different walks of life come and gather around the same passion in pursuit of training their retrievers. So that's what we're going to be sharing with you here, and that's what we did when we first got here. We connected and we got to meet some incredible members. All right, so we got the CGA Member Weekend. We're setting up here, getting the wingers ready for everybody to get out here. We're gonna do a workshop, but everybody should be getting down there, about to have breakfast right now. But we've got our bumpers here, loading them up, getting them ready to roll. And this setup is gonna be an inline marking setup. Should be challenging for a lot of the dogs, so we're looking forward to see what happens.
So we're doing some group work over here. We're gonna do the triangle marking drill using the water. So we're gonna set out 3 different spots for handlers to be with their dogs, and we're gonna have people throw single marks, and then depending on the level of your dog, run those marks again as a double, using the water as a factor for each of the marks that's thrown.
So after every member connected, we had a great first evening. We all went back, had a great sleep, and then got back out here for day 1. So while everybody was having breakfast, Barton and I went out and make sure that everything was set up the way it needed to be, because what we decided to do was break up in the teams. We actually had CGA members from previous member weekends that have a little experience under their belt. We had them become team leaders, and we broke everybody up into teams or groups so that everyone could have a chance to work with someone with some experience or that's already got fully trained dogs, and also we'd have people with dogs that were basically brand new or even young puppies, so that you kind of had a full experience as you're working with your team. But we set up individual drills, or what we call skill sets, to number one, break the ice, right? When you first get here in these situations, it's kind of nerve-wracking. But number two, we also wanted to work on drills that were going to set us up for success on day two, which is kind of the grand finale on our mock hunting situation. And on the individual drills, we kind of cover everything from obedience to handling to lining to marking and blind retrieves as well. So let's show you actually what that looks like. All right, so where we're standing right now is where we had our blind setup area, or station number one. This station actually was a little more difficult for even the dogs that were running memories. So at this setup, you could run a cold blind if you wanted to, or you could run what we call a memory retrieve, which is where you walk out, you drop the bumper. But we ran it as a keyhole setup, which means you're pushing your dog through kind of two areas. And not only that, what was so difficult was the lay of the terrain. So as you send your dog through the keyhole, as soon as they get through, the hill kind of, the lay of the terrain kind of sucks them down away from where the bumpers are, up on the side of the hill. We'll actually walk over there here in a second and I'll show you. But this setup overall, I think went really well. The dogs handled it well. Where we're standing right now is where kind of the line was, or where everybody had their dog sitting watching. And then if you step right here, this is kind of where you're running your dog. So dog's back behind you, you're running your dog right here, straight through that keyhole. But this was an incredible setup for station one. Let's walk down there and take a look at the lay of the terrain, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. All right, if you'll look uphill here, that's the problem. It's going uphill and the dogs are coming across this, which means they're kind of running at an angle, and the suction is gonna pull them straight towards where you're at right now. Versus, normal flat ground, super easy, the dogs run straight. When you've got this change of terrain, as well as the keyhole, makes it way more difficult. But the bumpers are actually up where that tree was right there. That's where we had the bumpers, is where the tree is. And that was extremely, extremely difficult for a lot of dogs to handle, especially the ones running the cold blinds, but even on the memory retrieves. But an incredible setup. All the dogs handled it well. It was a great opportunity for people to learn and for their dogs to get some experience. So we're standing at station 2, and this is where, honestly, one that a lot of people enjoyed. This is our handling station. For people that have experienced dogs, we did a full-on T drill. We actually have multiple T's here, so you can change it up depending on what you want to do. For dogs that aren't quite ready for the T drill, we kind of did a baseball drill, or we even did some hand signal introduction with some of the dogs. But this is a great way to, really work out the kinks in handling. And we also wanted to focus on handling pretty heavily for day 2, which is the mock hunt, because there's times where we're running blind retrieves and we need our dogs to be able to handle in hunting situations and high stress situations, which is coming. I can't wait to show you that here shortly. But this was a great spot, and it's a simple 100-yard lane down at the very end, and then perfect left and right opportunities, as you can see here. So while I was working with station 1 and station 2, making sure that everything went good there, and working with the team leaders at those stations, Barton was over here at station 3 and 4, working with the team leaders there, making sure that everything went smooth as well. And one of the cool things about being at the Member Weekend is getting to rub elbows with members that are like-minded, that are doing the same thing. Everybody's kind of training the same way, and you get to learn really through multiple different experiences, but you can talk about things. And really what was cool, that I saw a lot of was members picking up, members that were brand new or had some younger dogs were picking up from some of the more experienced members. And it was a really great opportunity to rub elbows and gain invaluable experience that you just really can't get anywhere else.
really bad about dropping the bumper and shaking when as soon as he get out of the water.
Yeah.
So what I used to do is I would meet him at the edge, and I would, tell him to hold and get him out, and then I'd get him to sit or stand, either or. I'd back up and just look at him, just watch the water drain off of him. And then I'd make him come, and then I'd let him shake. But I mean, it's like you really got to make them realize, like, you don't have to shake when you get out of the water. It's okay to let the water drain off.
Yeah. I mean, he's actually improved with that, getting out and dropping it to shake. And I've been working on that hard and giving him a hard.
Distance helps big time.
What's that?
You having that distance.
Yeah.
Because with that distance, it's the opposite of some dogs. But with him,
the distance is creating, he wants to get back to you, right? And by the time he gets all the way over there, he's dried off a good bit. He's not thinking about shaking it off. Right when they get out of the water, they're thinking about it. But now instead of thinking about it, he's thinking about the fact that you're way over there.
So I've been hitting him with hold when he gets close, but then if he drops it, I'm right on him with a hard correction. If he drops it on the ground,
but I would
is that correct?
fetch while it's on the ground.
Instead of putting it back.
Instead of putting it back, If you can't get that, then I'm picking it up. But like with my dogs, when it's on the ground and I say fetch that up, Rip was bad about this. I had him out earlier. I don't know, I don't want to fetch it up. And if that's sitting there on the ground and I say fetch it up and you don't do it, then I am simultaneously taking this hand and putting it on top of their snout, this hand down here, putting it in his mouth. You will fetch it up. Does that make sense? Yeah. Fetch that up. Putting some big time distance between you and the water so that they got to come way out of it. We could try that with yours too and yours. Check cord, and then making it to where you do it remotely so that when they pick the bird up, they're not in the water, right? The problem is going to be if they look at you and they're like, oh, actually, no, I'm going back to the water. Then you got a problem.
So this is where we had station number 3. This was the inline marking station, which is an incredible drill to work on, an incredible skill set for your dog to have. But basically, we had one short mark and then one further mark at the base of that hill, and both the marks landed in line, or basically you had one here and then one here. So when the dog's looking at it, they see the first one literally right there, and then they have to push past that fall area to get to the second one. And for the more advanced dogs or the finish level dogs, we also had a blind up on the side of the hill, so about 150 yards up there. So after they ran the inline marks, so they could push their dog through both fall areas and get up to the top of the hill with a cover change and a terrain change to get to where the blind was. That was actually pretty difficult, but I was pleased with how the dogs handled it. And this was station number 3. Great station for all level dogs. And for the dogs that weren't quite ready for all of that, we just did everything as single marks, and they handled it very well also. So we're at station number 4. This is probably one of the most exciting stations because you've got all the dogs busting through the water, and the dogs love it. Everyone loves it. It's just exciting. But this is where we ran another marking setup to where kind of a teamwork drill to where you've got 3 different people working. So 3 dogs, 3 people at 3 different locations. We call it the triangle drill. Throw it up, and then you watch, and the other 2 dogs honor while your dog runs, and then while the other people run, your dog honors. So lots of great skills that are worked on here. It's also a great opportunity to work on cheating. So for the younger dogs, we didn't worry too much about it just because they've never learned that skill set yet. But for the finished dogs or the fully trained dogs, that was a great opportunity for them to work on not cheating as well. One of our favorite things at the Member Weekend is the ability to do workshops, and really for Barton and I and any guests that we have to invest into our members in an intimate setting where we can just sit down, talk about things, or work through different scenarios. Like, for example, this workshop that I'm about to share with you was one that I did with a young puppy, and talking about how I shape and mold my dog's natural ability to teach it to retrieve in a way that's beneficial for it and that helps set it up for success. And again, we're working with dogs with natural ability, but it's my job as a trainer to make sure that I help bring out that natural ability and kind of fan the flame and mold it into all that it can become. So here's a quick preview of that. Just take a look and check out G. So I'm going to run through a few things that we kind of did on the videos. We'll just start with a simple retrieve and see how that goes. G. Good girl. G. Atta girl. Good job. Good job. all that desire is there. It's all something that you have to bring out of it. What I didn't do is when she was wandering around, I kind of was like super quiet. I didn't say here, 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 here. But it's the timing of everything that you do. So here, after the first one where I noticed she wanted to visit a little, I just made a mental note for the next one. It's like, okay, on this next one, I'm gonna try to get a very important timing. As soon as she touches the bumper, I'm gonna indicate, get her excited to come on back. And then just sit here and be patient. You know, I'm not saying here or anything, I'm just holding out my hand. So that's just a short preview of the workshop. If you actually want to see the full length of that workshop, we have prepared that for you. You can look below this video in the description, click the link, and you can sign up for free, and you'll get access to that full workshop that we did here at the Member Weekend. So you can sign up for that if you want to. But that really leads us into the next thing, which is the exciting part, the mock hunting. And you know, the mock hunting is something that not everyone's familiar with, but it's something that we're very familiar with here, and it's something that we believe in heavily. But it's really where we come in, we prepare our dogs for the real thing. Now, we kind of had dogs at all different levels, so we left out the guns at this stage because some dogs weren't introed to gunfire yet, but that we still made everything extremely exciting, and some of the dogs were very fired up, especially the younger dogs. They didn't know what to expect. It was kind of wild, but it was fantastic. And in this mock hunting situation, we went with two different scenarios. We went with a duck scenario and a goose scenario, and we gave our members real world experience as well as helped analyze and figure out, are you ready? Is your dog ready to hunt, or do you need to still work on some things before you go out there? And I would say in my own experience doing the mock hunting has really prepared my dogs tremendously for when we go out on our first hunts. And it's definitely, my dogs, when they go out on a hunt, it's not the first time they've seen something because I've already prepared them for it in the mock hunting situation. But let's take a look and see what it looks like when you got a group of different level dogs, different skill sets, different level trainers, and start doing some mock hunting.
I'm very stoked about today. I'd love to see how my pup Ted's gonna do in the simulated hunt situation. We've never really run anything like this before. It's be a good test with our upcoming hunting season. Yes, sir.
All right, so we got some calling going on. We're basically gonna simulate this hunt for the real deal. We're heading to the Waterhole. We've got the goose hunt going on right over here, but we're going to the Waterhole first and see how that goes and get everybody set up. So let's go see how the dogs do. Pop her back in the video real quick. Oh, we're good. We'll just do it right there. That should go in a nice spot. All right, so we've got the honor dog right here, and the go dog's gonna be on the end of the blind where we've got the dog box. So we're gonna get started and see how the dogs do. All right. All right, they're coming up out front. Y'all get ready.
Get down, get down. On the left, on the left.
On the left, here we go.
Mark. Shoot that bird, shoot it! Woo!
Shit. No! Please.
Rip.
It's a lot of excitement.
So the next scenario is actually we're calling the shoot.
Right behind us, guys, right behind us.
Coming over the top. Go! Good job, dogs. Good job. That's awesome. Good.
We're doing a little simulated mock hunt here with some geese. We got the silhouettes and everything out. Some dogs are running as triples, some dogs are running as singles. We got a short blind, we got a long blind. Trying to make it as active as possible and as realistic as possible. We got the goose calls, we got the flag. Trying to make it a little challenging for the dogs and get them ready for the season.
Here it comes, in the middle.
Shoot him!
Berkeley. Doesn't get much cleaner than that. Well done. Good. Well done. Hey, you did the right thing too by getting yourself a little bit
bit from the bottom, making yourself big. That's the perfect thing. Here I am, I'm right here. Yeah. Instead of just hanging back kind of way easy. Yeah, I'm right here. And so he came, and I think if you had not hit the whistle, he might have done a circle here, you know. So you did the right thing by intercepting him here, and then he came in. That's a good job, guys.
All right, so what we're doing right there is we're practicing missing. You know, that happens in the blind sometimes. So the next one we're about to do is a surprise bird. And we're just gonna say bird out front and then surprise the dogs so the dogs are ready. So hang in there. We'll see how that goes too. Dogs are doing good so far.
I like better than 7:30.
Is he going? Hey, bird out front, burn the decoys! Mark.
Good shooting, boys.
Good, here. All right, so that went good. We've got Josh Peck and his dog Cora. They were honoring, and now they're up in the driver's seat. It's their turn to go. How you feeling, Josh?
Confident, but scared. Anything's possible with a puppy.
Anything's possible with a puppy. I guess that's a good motto to go by.
Out front. Josh, shoot that duck, Josh.
Good.
Cora. Good girl! Good girl!
Station's been pretty good. We've had some dogs that are definitely ready to go hunt, and we have some young ones that, which what we expected, it was very new to them, the decoys and all the commotion and all that. So we've had just really all around, wide array of dog training ranges here, but a lot of dogs have learned new things. They've experienced new things. Some dogs have done extremely well. Even the ones that struggled, we've been able to work through it. So it's going great. All right. Make some noise. Flag a little bit.
Shoot him.
Smart. Let her choose what she wants. There you go. In her defense, this one went way further right than it had to. What?
Like, you're sitting on here.
Oh, it's okay. It's fine. You want to eat the white bucket over there? You ready to do this?
Try it. Here. Heel. Sit. Heel. Change. Here. Good. Hold. Dead. Good girl. Watch. Front. Shoot that bird.
Come!
Woo! Shoot that bird. Mallet. Good. Here. No. Here.
Good job.
Hold. Sit. Mallet.
Is that band right there?
Good job. Atta boy here. Good. Woo! Here.
That's a
Hold.
dog right there. Very nice.
Hold. Dead. Good boy. Good job.
Good job, Steven.
Good job,
That was
man.
good.
That was awesome.
Chaos, everything. That's a big win right there. Big win all the way around. How you feeling, Shane?
Good, man. Okay.
Thanks for help. You're doing an awesome job.
This is a blast, dude. I could do this any day of the week.
Yeah, it's fun. This is Taco.
This is Taco.
I love Taco. Beautiful dog. I think I do see some birds over that hill, though. Y'all get ready. Here they come. Here they come. Come! Taco.